Welcome back. Today we're reviewing Woodford Reserve's historic barrel entry 90.4 proof here on the channel next. Welcome back. Like I said, we're doing the Woodford Reserve, the historic barrel entry 90.4 proof from Brown-Forman. This costs about $130 normal MSRP. I was able to pick one up on Unicorn Auctions, shipped for $170. So that's a lot of money for this. Now I have the two other ones. I have I think it's the 118 and the 124, 128, I'm not sure, of we call it the club series. Looks like a big club. And those were outstanding. Those were good. My only worry is when I got this, yes, it's a historic barrel entry. It's Brown-Forman. It's aged at least 4 years based on TTB regulations. The mash bill is 72% corn, 18% rye, and 10% malted barley. My only worry was 90.4 proof. It seems a little thin, especially just the MSRP. You're asking an astronomical price. Like Zach from the Bourbon Kingdom always says, $10 now, 10 to 15 per year of age. So from asking 130, minimum age on this thing should be 10 years, not 4. So we talked a little bit about the history. We talked a little bit about the bottle. Like I always say, what's the juice like inside? Let's get into our nose. See, the nose punches up and you get the brown sugars. You get some, it's almost like a creme brulee. You get a little bit of the oak and a little bit of vanilla, like pretty much on every bourbon. But there's almost like a faint light maple syrup. It's going to sound weird, with raisins in it. Like a raisin note, like a dried grape note. That's what I'm getting off it. You can see it's a very light. It's got some legs. But they're not really pronounced. It's like there and gone. It's like a joke, like you look at a woman and she shows everything and her legs look like two little toothpicks. That's what this reminds me of. I mean, you can see they're very, very, very thin. Like I always say, you talked about the bottle, talked about the history. What is the juice like inside? Let's get to our first taste. See, you get a little bit of that tannic oak, a little bit of cinnamon. It drinks very light. But in all honesty, I'll be honest, it's there and gone. There's just barely a hint on the palate back. I mean, you get some light spices, but for $130 a bottle, this is a massive disappointment. The other two ones I have, the 118 and the 128, were so much better than this. Those were worth, at the time, like one was 100 and one was 120. They've bumped this one up to 130. And to me, those other ones that were higher proofs, this is just, man, this is thin. This is Jesus. This is even thinner than their Woodford Reserve. I would take Woodford Reserve Double Oak over this any day of the week. Let's try for one more taste, and I'll give you my honest opinion. Again, that light baking spice, a little bit of rye spice. There's the lightest of lingering heat, but it's there and it's like literally there and gone. And again, it's thin. I'm not gonna lie to you. This is super thin. I'm gonna say I'm massively disappointed in this. I was expecting something more thicker, viscous, coating, like the other ones were. It tastes like a watered down bourbon. Like they didn't have enough, so they kind of did this and said, historic barrel entry. No, if you see this, I wouldn't even try before you buy. I'd be a hard pass on this. It's just so thin. You can spend so much more on regular Woodford Reserved. You can spend more on the double oaked. The double oaked is what, $58.99 now in Michigan. And there's store picks that are $65. You could buy 2 of those compared to this one. That's the MSRP. Not including what I paid, which was $40 above MSRP. I feel like I got ripped off. I almost want to call Woodford Reserve and say, hey man, compared to the other ones you had, this is a joke. This is not worth what you're asking. And like I said, with a non-age statement, you know it's got to be at least 4 years old. Man, come on. To me, this would be more like a $40 bottle. Maybe 50, you're pushing it. But because they've gotten with this series and the club and all that, the hype on it, this would be a serious hard pass. If I even saw it in a bar, I would look at 7 different. Knob Creek 9, I'd take over this. I'm your host, Brian. This is a short and sweet. Like I always say, find a bottle, open the bottle, enjoy the bottle. Because even super expensive Woodford Reserve is meant to be enjoyed. Like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you think if you've had this, what your opinions are on it, and I'll talk with you all soon. Thanks for watching.